A very good evening and welcome to Prime TV News, coming to you live and direct from the Prime TV studios with me, Abrar Abid. Now, before we go into our stories in detail, let's take a look at our headlines. An arrest warrant issued on Rajitha. Patali Champika Ranavaka granted bail, driver remanded. The President pledged to uplift local art and culture. 4 people, including foreigners, killed in an accident on the Southern Expressway. Iran unveils development at Iraq reactor in face of US pressure. In our lead story, the Colombo Magistrates Court issued a warrant for the arrest of former Minister Rajitha Senaratne on a request made by the Criminal Investigations Department on the advice of the Attorney General. The 2 men who participated in the media briefing regarding the controversial white van incident were arrested and remanded until the 27th. On interrogation, they have revealed that this is totally fabricated news. The 2 suspects have confessed that MP Rajitha Senaratne had promised to give them 2 million rupees, 2 houses from Colombo and jobs at the US Embassy. Deputy Solicitor General Life+ presented the findings to the courts recently. Meanwhile, MP Rajitha Senaratne made an anticipatory bail application in order to prevent his arrest. Colombo Chief Magistrate Lanka Jayaratne denied the first bail application. Accordingly, Senaratne produced a revised bail application. Meanwhile, the police had informed the Attorney General that there were sufficient grounds to arrest Rajitha Senaratne over the controversial white van press conference. Accordingly, the Attorney General has instructed the Criminal Investigations Department to obtain a warrant and arrest the former minister. According to the Attorney General's Coordinating Officer, Senior Attorney Ishara Jayaratne, the warrant for the arrest of Rajitha Senaratne was issued by Colombo Additional Magistrate Bandara Nelumkulama. Meanwhile, an order was issued yesterday to ban former Minister Rajitha Senaratne from going abroad on a request made by the CID. In more local news, MP Patali Champika Ranavaka was released on bail. He was released on 2 personal bails of 500,000 rupees each and cash bails of 25,000 rupees. Meanwhile, the other suspect in the case, Tusita Kumara, was remanded until the 6th of January after being produced before the court. Patali Champika Ranavaka has been remanded in connection with an accident which occurred in 2016. Sandeep Sampath, the victim of the accident, was completely disabled. The young man was unconscious for several weeks and received treatments at the Colombo National Hospital. The Attorney General asked the police to arrest MP Ranavaka and present him before the court on several charges, including fleeing, concealing information and misleading the judiciary. Accordingly, Patali Champika Ranavaka was arrested and remanded. The case was taken up again today before the Chief Magistrate, Kanchana Niranjani Silva. Patali Champika Ranavaka was also ordered to appear before the Colombo Crimes Division every Sunday between 10 a.m. and 12 noon. Announcing the bail conditions, the magistrate highlighted that the police had informed about offences committed by the suspect under the Penal Code and the Public Property Act. The magistrate also noted that the police had filed the case against the suspect for damaging the state property to the tune of 917,244 rupees by subjecting the state-owned jeep bearing the vehicle number PKP 7545 to a road accident. The magistrate pointed out that although the suspect was arrested and produced before the court on the instructions of the Attorney General, it does not appear that the suspect has been produced before the court under the violation of the Public Property Act. The magistrate observed that the first accused in the case, Patali Champika Ranavaka, is given bail as his foreign travel has already been suspended. No information has been received on public disturbance in line with the incident, termination of interrogation of important witnesses in the incident, and the suspect is not in a position to impact other witnesses. The magistrate also ordered Champika Ranavaka to refrain from interfering with any witnesses. Additional Solicitor General Life+, appearing on behalf of the Attorney General's Department, made his submissions following the granting of bail to MP Ranavaka. He said that the case should be given more attention as it is not a normal motor vehicle accident case, as the case involves misleading the government, misuse of state property and misleading judiciary. He also informed the court that 2 persons connected with the incident are still at large. The defense attorneys said the 2 absconding persons could be produced in court at the moment. Accordingly, a man named Tusita Kumara, the driver of Mr. Patali Champika and Pradeep Alvis, were produced before the court. However, the Attorney General's Department informed court that Pradeep Alvis was not named as a suspect in the case and requested the court to give a date to record a statement from the suspect. Accordingly, the court has ordered Pradeep Alvis to be present at the Colombo Crimes Division on the 26th and make a statement. Meanwhile, officials of the Attorney General's Department requested the court to order the suspect, Tusito Kumara, to be remanded as Tusito Kumara was named as the second accused in the case. Accordingly, he was remanded till the 6th of January. Meanwhile, Additional Solicitor General of the Attorney General's Department, Dilip Apiris, told the court that the public and journalists who had entered the court premises during the course of the case had been harassed. The Attorney General's Department also requested the attention of the Chief Magistrate regarding the conduct of police officers in and around the courts during the proceedings. The case is to be taken up again on the 6th of January. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says he is committed to nurture and uplift local art and culture. The president expressed these views at a meeting with a group of artists. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was also present on the occasion. A cordial discussion between President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and artists took place at the President's house. The event was organized to thank the artists who were committed to the victory in the presidential election. Several ministers and MPs were present on the occasion. Speaking further, the President said the government is taking steps to nurture art and culture while preserving cultural identity. He added that current government's policy is to promote and foster local identities. He pointed out that he will be fully committed to improve art and cultural sector in the country during his tenure. The President recalled that the Ranminithanna Cinema Village, which was constructed for the benefit of the artists, had been neglected by the previous administration and did not use it for any productive purpose. The President stated that the Ranminithanna facility will be given a new facelift and will be turned as a high-yielding place for the local artists. He said that due to the expansion of the expressways, people from Colombo can reach the place within a span of 2 hours. 4 people were killed in an accident near the 62-kilometer post on the Southern Expressway. Among the dead were 3 Indian nationals. The accident occurred when a van carrying foreigners crashed into a container truck in between Valipanna and Kurundu Gaha Hatakma. 3 foreigners and the driver of the van were killed in the accident. 2 foreigners who were critically injured were admitted to the Karapitiya hospital. It has been revealed that the 3 foreigners who died were members of the same family. Police said that the speed of the van was the cause of the accident. In more news at home, Christmas heralding perennial echo of its traditional and age-old message of peace is dawning today midnight amidst ringing of church bells. Sri Lankan Christians celebrate the event island-wide. The ITN has also taken measures to broadcast an array of events on Christmas. This is the first Christmas of Sri Lankans being celebrated following the bitter events of the Easter Sunday terrorist attacks. The government has taken steps to provide beefed-up security and ensure other necessities to mark Christmas without fear. Accordingly, the security forces and the police have emphasized that they have taken measures to provide maximum security during the Christmas season. Archbishop Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit calls on Christmas to be celebrated without unnecessary adornments and being simple and solemn. Midnight Christmas service is broadcast over the ITN from 11:45 p.m. today. It will be telecast again at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Supreme Court Judge Prasanna Jayawardena has passed away. He was 63 years old at his demise. Supreme Court Judge Prasanna Jayawardena has passed away while receiving treatment at a private hospital. He is an alumnus of Royal College Colombo and a graduate of the University of Colombo. Prasanna Jayawardena is a vice president of the Bar Association and is also a President's Counsel. He also served as a member of the three-member Presidential Commission appointed to investigate the central bank bond fraud. In the weather update, the Met Department announces that showery conditions over the island is likely to temporarily reduce to some extent from tomorrow. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern, north-central, Uva and eastern provinces and in Hambantota district. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places elsewhere after 1 p.m. Light showers may occur in the central province during the morning too. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in western, central and Sabaragamu provinces during the morning. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary, localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Meanwhile, 13 districts have been affected by the inclement weather. Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Nuwara, Matale and Vaunia districts were the worst affected. More than 65,000 persons in 112 divisional secretariat areas have been hit by the adverse weather. The Disaster Management Centre stated that 15,155 persons have been accommodated in 123 relief camps. The relief program continues. In the inclement weather, 62 houses were completely damaged, while 1,400 were partially damaged. The Disaster Management Centre has issued landslide warnings for Matale, Kandy, Nuwara and Badulla districts. The centre stated that the red notices issued to certain areas are still in effect. The hotline 117 is open around the clock for informing about possible disasters. A special solar eclipse will be witnessed from Sri Lanka on the 26th of December. Kind of solar eclipse was previously observed in 2010 and will occur after 12 years. The Arthur C. Clarke Institute for Modern Technologies said that solar eclipse is visible from Saudi Arabia, southern India, northern parts of Sri Lanka and parts of Indonesia and Europe. The eclipse begins approximately 180 kilometers west of Dammam in the desert of eastern Saudi Arabia around 9:04 a.m. Both partial and annular phases of the eclipse can be seen from Sri Lanka in between 8:44 a.m. and 9:33 a.m. from Delft Island in Jaffna. The annular phase will last only 3 minutes and 16 seconds. The general public is advised not to view the solar eclipse with the naked eye or unsafe equipment. In more news at home, police have seized a large quantity of big onion unsuitable for human consumption, imported from Egypt and placed in a container for sale on the main road behind the Dambulla Economic Centre. The raid was conducted by the Dambulla Municipal Council's Health Unit and the Dambulla Police Environmental Unit. According to our correspondent, when the Dambulla Police opened the door of the container, strong bad smell was experienced from rotten onion. Investigations revealed that the stock of big onions had been imported by a businessman in Colombo. Public health officers had taken steps to destroy the stock. Venerable Ale Gunawansathero says that all the communities living in Sri Lanka should work hand in hand to encounter international onslaughts. The prelate said this at a ceremony held at the official residence of the Archbishop of Colombo. Venerable Ale Gunawansathero donated Christmas gifts for the children who have been affected by the Passover attack. The families of these children were also given financial aid. A musical program was held with the participation of all the attendees to please the victimized children. The Venerable Thero also said that the country has been posed with many threats from foreign forces and only way to trounce them is the unity among different ethnic groups. He also highlighted that the UNP's tendency towards Buddhism needs to be closely monitored. The Thero also said that police had to appease the politicians during the last regime instead of protecting the general public. Let's now take a look at the very latest in the business arena. The government will implement a major loan restructuring plan for the tea sector, which could include a moratorium on loan repayments and the write-off on interest in some cases. A senior plantation industries ministry official said relief would be given for the factory owners whose accumulated loans and interest payments stand at around 25 billion rupees. According to him, the drop in tea price in the past few years had resulted in their inability to repay loans. The relief measures for the tea sector was approved by Cabinet last week, with the modalities on how the proposed measures are to be implemented to be finalized in the weeks ahead. The government will also take 500 million rupees from the Tea Promotions Fund to give loans to factory owners via a scheme to be implemented through the banks. And that is all the news for today. Do join us again tomorrow for the very latest. For the Prime TV News team, I'm Abrar Abid. A very Merry Christmas and take care.